Hey, everybody, I'm happy to be here. Okay, right up top, my pronouns are he, she, they, because that's the order that people panically yell them in. Sometimes people want to know how I know I'm trans. I feel like that answer is different for every trans person. But personally, I know I'm somewhere in the middle of the gender spectrum because of how I argue. Because in an argument, I fight like a woman, but I lose like a man. Because in the argument, I'm like, babe, can we have eye contact? Okay? Can we use I feel statements, all right? And before we do anything we regret, let's remember Mercury's in retrograde. And then my wife's like, no, it says on the website Wednesday is trash night. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll fucking kill myself! A lot of holes in the drywall. What can I say? That's non-binary behavior. I used to teach Spanish at a preschool, and when I tell people that, they're like, oh, you're fluent enough to teach preschool Spanish? And I'm like, yeah, and actually, so are you. Sí, se puede, you know? And I was good at my job, but I remember one day I lost total control of the room. I had two kids chasing each other around a table. I had another kid throwing stuff at the wall. And I had a girl at my side tugging on my shirt, just screaming over and over, are you a boy or girl? Are you a boy or girl? Are you a boy or girl? And I just took a deep breath, and I bent down, and I said, first of all, it's chico o chica. We will learn something today. And this was before I started transitioning, and I didn't want to get into it. So I was like, and I'm a girl. And she goes, no, you're not. And I was like, dang, they think we're grooming the kids. It is the other way around. Who knew this girl had a trans agenda? Didn't realize I was teaching the woke mob. She wasn't the only one. Every year, the kids obsessed over my gender. It got to the point where when they were like, are you a boy or girl? I'd be like, honestly, open to suggestions. We can do it by secret vote. Like when you let the kids name the class Turtle. And then they name it something stupid like Turtle. Anyway, we voted, they named me Turtle. Perfect non-binary name. I had to turn it down because I actually already know two turtles. I realized the other day I taught there 6 years and I never once came out of the closet at work. And it wasn't about the kids, it was about the parents. I was afraid that they would think I had some sort of gay agenda. And of course I didn't. But I will admit to being just a little bit of a feminist in the classroom, just a little bit, because you want these little kids to grow up into good adults, so you take your teaching moments. Like one day, you know, this kid, it was right before winter break, and he reached up to give me a hug goodbye, and he accidentally palmed my chest, and he was like, oh, you've got boobs. And I was like, listen, kid, I'm just as surprised as you are. And in this classroom, it's tetas. We will learn something today! But I was like, listen, they're my boobs on my body, so please don't ever touch them. And he was like, okay, never touch boobies, and that made him gay, so... Mission accomplished! Hit my quota right before New Year's. Called in an HQ, got that Christmas bonus. Living good. Before I was a teacher, I was a professional athlete. I had the honor of playing for the Puerto Rico women's national soccer team. And it was a dream come true, total dream. But it was all-consuming. My whole life was completely devoted to soccer. You know, it was like everything soccer, all the time soccer. I did nothing but eat, breathe, and sleep with women. I was talented. Once in a generation, they said. I am retired now from soccer, and when I retired, I tried to become a coach. And when you're coaching, they start you off with the littlest kids. And turns out, I am way too intense for that job. Whatever patience I had in the classroom, I did not have out on the field. I had third graders doing wind sprints as punishment. They were like, Coach, can we learn what the other teams are learning? Can we learn about give and goes? I was like, sure, how about you give a fuck and I'll let you go home? Parents did not approve. I recently became a homeowner, and thank you, appreciate it. I appreciate that, because I had to work so hard to marry a lawyer whose dad is a doctor, and that's my only financial advice. If you're a millennial or Gen Z and your parents can't buy you a home, your only option is to seduce your way into land. Like, it might be 2025, but you gotta play it like you're in a British novel set in 1725. Like, you gotta put on your Sunday best and go down to the town square with your most gossipy chaperone. And she just points out all the eligible bachelors like, yes, well, young Archibald over there has a very sickly aunt with a very sprawling estate. You should hear her cough, it is so wet. It's funny being a lesbian homeowner, because things are always breaking, and I always try my best to fix them, but often I gotta call in a home professional. And every home professional I've ever called has been a man, and every man has been so excited to have like a female client on the phone, you know? He's just like, yes, miss, right away, miss, we'll be there within the hour, miss, like so excited to be a knight in shining armor for a damsel in distress. And then the guy gets there, and I open the door, and he's just like, oh, shouldn't you be able to do this? I don't know much about you gals, but I feel like you should be able to Home Depot your way out of this one. One time a guy saw me outside the house waiting for him. He was like, I love it when my guys are early. Handed me a wrench. Learned a lot about pipes that day. I am proudly a lesbian, but I'm also bisexual and kind of a man. And if that's confusing to you, it's just like how God is also Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I'm a good Catholic, is what I'm saying. I am living the word of the Trinity. I'm bisexual, but I've been with my wife a long time. A friend of mine was like, hypothetically, could you ever go back to men? And I think I could, but it would be different, you know? Because the last time I was with a man, I was very, very feminine. And I'm not going back to that. Like, I'll go back to dick, but I am not going back to high heels. Like, my pussy can take a pounding, but my ankles cannot. They are in retirement. So if I hooked up with a dude, he'd be getting the masculine version of me. Like, I'd be giving hand jobs the way a mechanic gives an oil change. Just like, yeah, all set. Come back in 2 to 4 months. Pleasure doing business. I have my little name embroidered on my jumpsuit. And the jumpsuit stays on! It's part of it. I recently started watching porn for the first time. I'm a newcomer, if you will. And I didn't know where to start, so I just kind of Googled it, and I found what you freaks are watching. First observation, I did not know that women could squirt like that. Okay, a lot of you are pretending to not know that women can squirt like that. Okay, because I've made someone squirt, but I had never in my life seen the like sports arena sprinkler system. I had not seen that, okay? You don't even have to click on the video, it's in the thumbnail, like... I know you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't know if it was real. I Googled, I was like, is that real? I thought it was movie magic. And of course it's real, but you run into the age-old debate, like, is it squirt or is it just pee? And I think it's unacceptable that science doesn't know that. That is far too much fluid to be coming out of the human body to not know definitively what it is. So I was like, I gotta take matters in my own hands. You know, literally, I was gonna make myself squirt, figure it out that way. So I didn't know how to do that, so I Googled that, got a little AI checklist. And it was like, step 1, light some candles and put on some soothing music. And I was like, gay? And it was like, step 2, go to the bathroom before you start. And I was like, oh, well, this bodes very well for it not being pee, because if all the pee out, how more pee come out? You know, that's science. That's supporting my hypothesis in the research phase. So I went to the bathroom, and the last step, it was like, when you're close, push. And it's gonna feel like you're gonna pee, but you're not. You're gonna squirt. So I was close, and I pushed, and nothing happened. And I was really close, and I pushed really hard, and nothing happened. And I was very close, and I pushed very hard, and I did poop a little. So it's settled. Squirt is not pee, it's poo. And that's the scientific method. Thank you guys so much. I'm Kate Sisk.